Coming up on UCF Nightly News, we learn more about why gas prices have been at record low nationwide and if trends will continue.
Also, how artificial intelligence is being implemented in school security cameras and what they are able to detect.
And what could potentially cause an internet blackout for weeks or even months in the next few years. In sports, we see a recap of UCF's first year in the Big 12 and what it meant for senior Ron Rice-Plumlee. Nightly News starts now. Good afternoon and welcome to Nightly News. I'm Miranda Camp.
And I'm Cassandra Wilkins. Today is Friday, December 8th, 2023.
No need to break the bank when driving home for the holidays. AAA reports show gas prices in Florida are the lowest they've been in 2023 for the past few months.
Nightly News reporter Isabella Benjumea talked to UCF students who are happy about saving a few bucks when filling up their car.
If you have put gas in your car in the past few months, you may have noticed a decrease in gas prices. Here in University Boulevard, 1 gallon is costing $3.19.
Gas prices in Florida have fallen or stayed the same since September. This is mirroring a national trend and marking about a 70-day decline. The seasonal downturn in fuel demand has dropped gas prices in time for the holidays, according to AAA. The conflicts in the Middle East have surprised the oil industry, according to Andrew El Khoury, AAA spokesman. He explains how the Israel versus Hamas war has declined oil costs and in turn gas prices. We thought that the oil barrel was going to go up, but we had the contrary effect. The oil barrel in this moment has a low tendency. We even have a lower price compared to last week. And if the oil barrel price decreases, gas prices decrease as well. UCF students have enjoyed saving a few bucks in gas recently. Finance major Marshall Buck used to commute last semester and is noticing the change since then.
Over the spring, I commuted up here from Jupiter, so having to top off my tank every time I came up here and back, it was got pretty expensive pretty quick. So I'm happy to save all that money and just take the bus instead and have the prices finally get down again.
Currently, the average price per gallon is $3.16 in Florida, with West Palm Beach Boca Raton in the lead for the most expensive gas in the state.
This decrease in prices is expected to remain until the end of the year, according to the AAA.
For more information about gas prices in the nation, you can go to gasprices.aaa.com.
Artificial intelligence has been a big topic of conversation this past year. Now it is being used in Florida schools in different ways. One of these ways is a new system put in school security cameras to detect firearms. This is a platform called Zero Eyes. As soon as it sees a gun, it recognizes it and alerts the school's personnel and authorities. The purpose of this new technology is to detect crimes before they happen and prevent tragedies. Approximately 2 or 3 schools in Florida are already using this AI. UCF's AI expert, Sir Nalim, explains how this AI is able to detect guns.
The most prevalent way to do that these days will be to collect a lot of images and videos of these objects that you want to detect, in this case, firearms, guns, and just train a model and say, hey, this is a picture, is there a gun in it? This is a picture, is there a gun in it? And deep learning is a technique that is like a neural networks, and you learn through this deep learning architecture.
He says that by recognizing firearms, this technology can do great things for society.
A solar storm could plunge the world into an internet blackout for weeks or months between 2024 and 2028, a scientist told Fox. We now look into the potential impact of a solar storm. That same scientist is calling a possible internet apocalypse.
Known as coronal mass ejections, or CMEs, can unleash a surge of charged particles that can disrupt satellites and power grids, says scientist Peter Becker of George Mason University. Periazmi Manoharan is a senior scientist at UCF. He says technology will be greatly affected if this were to happen.
The particle produced during the solar flare, electrons, protons, they can cause severe damage to satellite, navigation system, communication system, even high-altitude aircraft.
According to UCF Professor Manoharan, the Carrington event of 1859 is the last recorded solar event to reach Earth which disrupted telegraph systems. With an internet outage, online financial transactions will affect global commerce, says Becker. Becker warns the world's heavy reliance on the internet could lead into a global recession. Jolena Blunt, a UCF senior, says she believes college students will be greatly affected.
So students will definitely have to come in person more. Their assignments will have to be in person more. Grading, I feel like it will take a long time for assignments to be graded just because of how grading is done now.
Students can stay informed about the latest solar storm forecast from NOAA.
Becker states that in the event of a solar storm, we will be informed about 18 to 24 hours in advance.
On Wednesdays throughout the semester, as you walk past the Student Union, you can browse through Market Day. The senior who makes Market Day happen is Leila Browder, and though she is graduating, she has helped with the weekly event. Every Wednesday from 9 to 5, outside the Student Union, students have the opportunity to shop with local vendors as a part of UCF's Market Day. Let's learn more about the two students behind making Market Day work.
Of the nearly 6,000 graduates, one ad and PR major has left her mark at UCF Market Day. UCF senior Leila Browder has been Market Day coordinator for 2 years. Her focus was on expanding their social media presence and rebranding the account.
But now that social media is kind of everybody's main form of communication as far as stuff on campus and events that you can attend, we wanted to revive the Instagram and kind of bring it back so that more students are aware of this event happening. It's a good way to kill time in the middle of the day between classes.
Leila has also made an impact on her colleagues. Jada Penroe is the assistant Market Day coordinator and close friend of Leila. She says Leila has helped her grow into her leadership and management abilities.
It's kind of like a lot to have a whole event in your hands every week to make sure it proceeds well. But I feel like since I've started, she's made me never feel like I'm being overwhelmed. And it's always fun to talk to her about anything, or even just the actual communications of making the event happen.
Jada will take over as Market Day coordinator for Leila after she graduates and says that she has been helpful in preparing her for this position. She says she hopes to see Market Day continue to thrive for many years.
Students can expect Market Day back on January 10th, 2024. After graduation, Leila will be working for Gulfstream Aerospace Company as their merchandising specialist. For more information on Market Day, you can go to their Instagram page at UCF Market Day. DUI driving arrests are on a decline, but impaired driving is on the rise. That's according to UCF's police records. UCF Knightly News reporter Madelyn Dickinson tells us more about how UCF Police and the Carrie Ann DeMont Foundation are using their story to help reduce impaired driving.
December is National Impaired Driving Prevention Month. Bill DeMont, one of UCF's very own family members, says he is a big advocate for keeping impaired drivers off the road.
The foundation was started after my middle daughter, Carrie Ann, was killed by a multiple DUI offender. Since that time, my goal is to continue her mission and her message.
Carrie Ann was a junior at UCF when she was killed 8 years ago. DeMont said the message Carrie Ann spreads is to how to make people smile and feel good. In order to further this message, DeMont partnered with the UCF Police Department and his good friend, Sergeant Imperato.
UCF Police Department has only reported 20 DUI and impaired driving arrests since the beginning of January. Only 3 of those arrests have been from this semester. This is a striking decrease since 2021, where the UCF Police Department reported a high of 76 DUI and impaired driving arrests.
I think the message is getting out there. Thankfully, the message is getting out there that impaired driving is not acceptable, and people are making better decisions. They're getting ride shares. They're having designated sober drivers, and they're making the choices before going to the clubs or going out how they're going to get home that evening.
Sergeant Imparato noted that alcohol DUI arrests are trending down, but driving impaired with other substances are going up on a national level. Imparato said that DeMott's message of getting up each day and sharing his story is inspiration for everyone.
My daughter's counting on me. I always make sure my daughter knows I'm proud. I thank God for the obstacles and the opportunities. And I get up and have my coffee every day and wait to be put in the direction I'm supposed to be put in that day.
DeMott said his goal is to prevent tragedies before they even happen, but if they do, Carrie Ann's Foundation will be there for them. In Orlando, Madelyn Dickinson, UCF Nightly News.
DeMott says especially during the holidays, there should be no empty seats at the dinner table or in a classroom. UCF Police advises all students to plan safe rides home and to not drive a vehicle while impaired. Coming up after the break, we take a look at a new project that is helping solve the shortage of mental health counselors.
Plus, what UCF's Arboretum Coordinator is looking forward to. Stay with us. A new grant-funded project, UCF's Project STAR, began this fall, having the first cohort of students moving through the program. The project is receiving over $5 million of funding and is expected to last 5 years. Nightly News reporter Ceglio tells us how the program has already improved the shortage of mental health counselors in high-need schools.
Project STAR counselors are responsible for hosting individual counseling sessions with about 64 students for 3 days a week. Janiyah Fuller oversees the partnership between UCF's Project STAR and the Orange County Public Schools Academic Center for Excellence. She says Project STAR counselors have been able to help students identify some of the emotions they are feeling.
And I know how valuable quality mental health services are. And so the fact that they're able to access those through our partnership with UCF and Project STAR here at Boys and Girls Club, that is safe for them.
Fuller says seeing the next generation of helping professionals come in to support the OCPS students is inspiring. Not only is Project STAR hoping to increase the presence and access to mental health providers in schools, but they're also hoping to motivate the students to stay within these roles and the communities following graduation. Melissa Seligman serves as a principal investigator on Project STAR. She says the Department of Education has recognized the significant impact that the nationwide shortage of mental health providers in schools has on children and families in our own Central Florida communities.
So this semester, we started with 18 practicum students, and they were all working downtown at the Orange County ACE School. And we've had 13 interns who are kind of scattered throughout high-need counties throughout the state.
Project STAR aims to place over 200 service providers in high-need counties and schools through the students' work in practicums and internships over the next 5 years. In Orlando, Carly Ceglio, UCF Nightly News.
The team of faculty from the Department of Counselor Education and School Psychology plan to collect data over the spring semester to make sure the services provided are making an impact in the Orlando community.
Some UCF students are looking for a community in the rave culture. Let's take a look into how students have found a new niche music community.
LGBT student artists are looking into spaces outside UCF to express themselves. The rave collectives, Techniculture, and Cyber Island are some of the groups that several UCF students have started outside the university. The collectives host several events from fundraisers for students' gender-affirming surgeries to donation drives for disadvantaged members. According to the William Institute at the University of California, 17% of LGBTQ people lived in poverty in 2021. That percentage increases to 25% for POC LGBTQ people. UCF psychology student and co-founder of Cyber Island Collective, Bunny Castano, says that Bunny's focus is to uplift trans POC voices.
The electronic scene started with black trans women, with black trans men also creating different types of music, and the baselines of things, it all comes down to African American talent.
The event hosts artists of all different mediums with a focus on DJ sets. Art vendor and junior psychology student Sanaa Joachim has been a part of UCF art events like Market Day, but recently started to vend at the raves to support the cause.
Even though creatives like Sanaa still participate in art events on campus, they feel most at home participating with the rave collectives.
I love being able to talk to people in the community, and that's what I really get to do when I come out here and vend. I see people who are like me, who think like me, who dress like me, and it's fantastic. We can talk about things that we like. I feel comfortable, I feel at home.
Techniculture and Cyber Island will be hosting events through December. The raves they host in the future will be to support trans members' moves out of Florida.
Students interested in Techniculture and Cyber Island can look into the group's Instagram pages for future raves and benefits.
The UCF Arboretum has had 6 plant sales this semester, with Holiday Market being the last. The cash-only event featured art and plant vendors and holiday-themed trees for sale. Senior biology student and Arboretum coordinator Ethan Hudson says that the Arboretum had a great year and that they are excited for spring events.
The fall, as I said, always has these standard ones we do every semester, like Halloween type stuff. And so the spring is just ripe with opportunity to experiment.
Students can look on the Arboretum's Instagram page for more information on plant sales and other future events.
Next, we will see why rainy days in Florida's forecast for the next month.
Plus, our friends from Embry-Riddle will show us temperatures are rising nationwide.
Nightly News will be right back after the break. Cassandra, I wonder how the weather's going to be this holiday season.
Yeah, Miranda, I had to plan what clothes I should pack for winter break back home in Jacksonville.
So Carly, what are the conditions looking like for Florida over the next month?
Well, I will say to wear your rain jackets this winter because meteorologists say there's a higher chance of severe weather. The National Weather Service states that there will be a strong El Nino event making Central Florida wetter than normal. Meteorologists say this increases the risks of severe thunderstorms, dangerous tornadoes, and overall cooler than normal conditions. This graphic behind me shows the Central Florida area in about the 50 to 60% range for rainfall in the Central Florida area over the driest season. According to the National Weather Service, this El Nino event will decrease the threat of developing drought conditions and wildfire activity across the area. Stay prepared and stay safe this winter. That is all the time I have for you. Back to you, Miranda and Cassandra.
Let's check in with our partners at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University.
Meteorology major Jillian Peretti shows us how temperatures are rising across the nation.
Good afternoon, I'm Embry-Riddle student Jillian Peretti, and winter is just around the corner. However, temperatures are going to be a little warmer this year, especially in the north. They're expected to see above average temperatures. And down in the south and the middle of the United States, they're expected around average temperatures, but it is not out of the question for them to be seeing above average temperatures as well. And actually, winter is the fastest warming season for almost 75% of the United States. So although all the seasons are seeing increase in temperatures, winter is obviously dominating in this category, and especially in the Northeast. Since 1970, they've seen an almost 5-degree increase in their temperatures throughout the winter, and nationally, they've been seeing a 3.8-degree increase. So if these trends continue, winter is only going to be getting hotter throughout the years.
Coming up on UCF Nightly News, we take a look into UCF football and what one player hopes to be remembered as.
Good afternoon, Knights. I'm Hannah Kaliszak, here to give you your UCF sports update. UCF football wrapped up their first season in the Big 12 Conference with a 6-6 overall. Nightly news reporter Ceglio gives us a recap and the future plans for the football team.
Going into next year, the team got their feet wet and understands the league a bit better. UCF's head coach Gus Malzahn says he experienced more tough moments than ever had in his career this season. But he says the team hung in there and they kept battling in their first year in the Big 12.
We're one of the new kids on the block and able to be bowl eligible. Obviously, in the big picture, we're not satisfied with how everything turned out, but we are happy the first year we went to a bowl.
Gus says he will continue to be the coach here because he loves it and he knows the future is bright. As far as recruitment, he says the program is set up with a great high school class signing.
UCF's fifth-year senior quarterback, John Rice Plumlee, said in a post-game conference that playing the quarterback is just something that he does and it's not who he is, and he would rather be remembered as the guy in the locker room that the guys can look up to.
I would want Knight Nation on the football aspect to remember me as a competitor, ready to lay it all on the line in any given play when it's needed.
Senior quarterback John Rice Plumlee says this season truly showed what kind of guys they have in the locker room and their leadership they had with the coaches. He says being able to go through a rough patch and to come out the other side and be eligible for a bowl is what makes this team special. In Orlando, Carly Ceglio, UCF Nightly News.
Coach Gus says that it was a one-game season. He wanted to send the seniors out who have been so monumental in getting the team where they are in this league. Winning this bowl would mean a winning season and momentum going into the next year. The holiday season is bringing UCF a new winter sport. Figure Skating Club is a non-competitive sports club coming to UCF's campus in the spring 2024 semester. Figure Skating Club President Aisha Al-Had says students do not have to wait until next semester to get involved.
This club is for all levels, whether you're experienced, have little experience, or just want to try something new. We do have our first event after finals, Monday, December 11th. It will be at the RDV Ice Den.
Aisha says official practices will start when school returns in January and will be held at the RDV Ice Den in Madelyn. That's all I have for you in sports. Back to you, Miranda and Cassandra.
That's all the time we have for right now. Thank you for joining us. Remember to join us next semester for our Nightly News weekly shows.
Thanks for watching and have a good break.